And so, Sadhguru, do you think that we will, if we talk about human civilization, we have come to a juncture where we'll have to actually truly decide which way we want to go from here, because these protected lives are also part of our master plan, that we are protecting each other, not necessarily the bare plan which used to be survival of the fittest in the jungle, where if you I was reading somewhere that the femur bone, when and that was circulating in social media quite a lot, that when people who couldn't walk started surviving, is when the human civilization had a turning point. Because before that, people who couldn't walk or for some reason are limping will be eaten by the predators. And the moment they started healing means somebody was taking care of them. And taking care of others became the basic nature of human civilization. So do you think from here, are we going to a more ruthless world where the fittest and more immunity, the people who have got more immunity will survive, and the ones we can't face it will finish off? But that's not the world we envisaged. That's not the human civilization we talked about.
No, that is not at all what I was saying, Prasoon. What I'm saying is, nature or creation out of its magnanimity has given a certain sense of individuality or individual experience in our lives. But life doesn't happen as individual, life is happening as one whole. I'm saying this, without the participation of bacteria and virus, there is no such thing as human life. What I'm saying is, without us, they live well. Without them, there is no way for us to live. So, our idea of individuality, we have taken it too seriously. This is our problem. So, slowly we are becoming such glass bubbles that we are becoming devoid of life. All we have is our own thought and emotion. Our thought and emotion is a luxury when life is happening well. This is a luxury that creation has allowed us. First of all, the great luxury and magnanimity is, though we are nothing in this universe in terms of size and value and whatever in this cosmos, in spite of that, we have an individual experience. We can sit here and experience ourselves as individual self, which is not a small thing. It's a tremendous thing. It is out of that all this thought, emotion, philosophy, civilization, everything. Having said that, now people are, in different countries, they're proposing different kinds of philosophies. Somebody, in United States, they're saying, we have the freedom to have haircut. We don't like this lockdown, we want to have haircut, so we will go out. So we'll go out with guns and have haircut. In India, you saw they opened the liquor shops in Delhi and other places, you know what happened. So, these people are now throwing scientific language at you and say the only way out is herd immunity. Herd immunity means 70%, 60 to 70% of the population should get the infection, only then herd immunity will happen. Herd, the very word herd I don't like with reference to human beings. But they are looking for herd immunity, they are not talking science, they are pitching for their own compulsions. They can't sit at home, they want to go out, they want to drink, they want to have a haircut. So, if we go for herd immunity, we will wipe out the geriatric population. We will wipe out all those vulnerable segments of population. For some reason, their immune system is down. I was not talking about that. I am talking about the way we are forming life right now, the way we are living in the cities. We are living in such a way that our life itself, the very life breath is weak. If you live like that, every single virus that comes by in the next few decades or centuries, every one of them will threaten our existence. This is because we've lost connection with how life happens. Life doesn't happen just here, life is happening all around. You need to imbibe it all the time. Otherwise, your life is of no substance, it will go away.
Sadhguru, this constant struggle with nature, and please you can throw light on this. this constant going loggerheads with nature is something which I probably feel was not part of at least Indian culture. Where I grew up in Uttarakhand, and in the mountains I was born, and my childhood I've been there, I lived there. I never competed with the river. I bowed down to the river. I was never, in fact, I did not even know that adventure sport will become such a big thing later on, and I would see it whitewater rafting and stuff like that. When I go to Rishikesh today, I see that. But in my childhood, I saw more befriending the nature, more bowing down to nature, more taking orders from the nature, and when the sun is down, it's the time to sleep. There was certain respect and rhythm with which we were brought up. Where did we go, getting into conquering nature? And where did human civilization start competing with nature? When did this happen?
Well, in 1947, when the British left, our brains also went away with them. So now, whatever comes from there, that's what we do. So, this whole, brutal way of producing things. Well, yesterday I was talking to somebody from Manchester, so I was telling him, you are the guys who started this whole business of mass production. And for this mass production, you started mass production schools. All you have is nuts and bolts. Half of them are nuts, half of them are bolts. They, of course, fit into the economic engine somewhere and they're useful. But what kind of usefulness is that when people don't live, when people don't have profoundness of experience of life, that the value of my life is, I'm worth $2 billion. I'm not, I'm telling you. But the value of my life is some number in my bank account or the area of land that I own. So, we have created this thing that our accumulations are the value of life. So, this is something you must see still, fortunately, prevalent to some extent in Tamil Nadu. Suppose you go to a function, let's say you go to a wedding. If you see outside the chowdhury, usually South Indian weddings, 5,000, 10,000 people would have gathered. We have to change that now with social distancing. But if you go there, you will see every kind of vehicle will be parked, Bentleys and Mercedes and this and that and everything, and also lots of TVS mopeds and bicycles and everything. If you go inside, if you go towards the men's section, if you go towards the women's section, by looking at how many kilograms of gold is around their neck, you can judge who is rich, who is poor. But if you go towards the men's section, everybody will be in the same white starched shirt and dhoti. You cannot make out who came in the Bentley, who came by TVS moped. They will all be same, they will sit in the same place without any distinction. Only by age and respect they get some prominent place, not because how much money they have, how much property they have. This has always been the ethos of this culture, but now we became a number game. How much money do you have accordingly? So if you say a big man in this town, what does the big man mean? Does it mean he has a big brain? Or does it mean to say he has a very big heart? No, it means he has a big pocket, nothing else. We have just reduced ourselves into a marketplace. Marketplace is not just in the Dalal street. Dalal is happening in everybody's minds and hearts. When people are getting married, before marriage they're signing a prenuptial agreement. When we part, who gets the dog, who gets the car, who gets the house? How do you weave two lives together when you have such a calculation in your head? I'm saying this is in many ways destruction of human civilization. Civilization means, as you said, it is born out of compassion and love for and concern for other lives around us, that it is not about survival of the fittest. Now we are once again going back to survival of the fittest in the name of so-called modernization. This completely convoluted idea that being modern means you have to be Western has to go. Even in United States, there is quite a significant movement starting now that, people should not be recognized for their wealth.